Hello everybody, it's Tarun. Welcome to a 26th tutorial for in the CSS for presentation course. In this tutorial, I'll start with the last unit of this course, which is CSS techniques. So by now you have a solid foundation in writing style sheets. You can style text element and element boxes, create page layouts using floats, and even add animation effects to your designs. But there is a few more common CSS techniques that I want to know that I want you to know about. Okay, so this unit is a grab bag of sorts. It starts with some techniques that are part of web developers basic toolkit, clearing out browser styles with a CSS reset, using images in a place of text, which is only when necessary, and reducing the number of server requests with CSS sprites. It moves on to general approaches and special properties for styling forms and tables. Finally, and I have saved the best for last, which is you'll get to use media queries to create a responsive site in step by step. Okay. So what we'll cover in this unit, we'll cover applying a CSS reset, replacing text with images, using CSS sprites, styling forms, and styling tables. So let's start with the CSS reset, which is a clean slate. As you know, browsers have their own built-in style sheets, which are also called user agent style sheets, for rendering HTML elements. If you do not supply styles for an H1, let's say H1, you can be certain that it will display as large bold text with space above and below. But how much larger and how much space may vary from browser to browser, giving inconsistent results. Furthermore, even if you do provide your own style sheet, elements in your document may be inheriting certain styles from the user agent style sheets, causing unexpected results. For that reason, many designers use what is known as a CSS reset, a collection of style rules which overrides all the user agent styles and creates a starting point that is as neutral as possible. From there, you must explicitly specify font, text, margin, and padding styles for every element in your document. But you can be certain that no styles from the browser will interfere with them. Okay. The most popular reset was written by Eric Mayer, which is who is the author of too many books of CSS. It is presented here, and I have also included a copy of it in this tutorial. So I'll just show you how to use the reset. To use the reset, place these styles at the top of your own style sheets. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you those styles. Okay, so this is a hell lot of a style. You need to place it over your style, to use the reset. You can use them exactly as you see them here, or you can customize them as your project requires. I also recommend that you read Eric's post about the thinking that went into his settings. So I'll just give you the link for that. Okay, so this is the link where you can go ahead and see what was the thinking that went into Eric's settings. Okay, and this is the style for reset. Okay, so CSS resets are not for everyone. You may decide that you want to lean on the browser for some basic styling and not be required to write styles for every little thing. But if you want to be sure that all the styles showing up are yours, a reset must be the way to go. So this was all about the CSS reset. Now we'll talk about image replacement techniques. Before web fonts were a viable option, we needed to use an image anytime we wanted text in a font fancier than Times or Helvetica. Fortunately, that is no longer the case, and we can have very stylish headlines and text treatments without the added burden of images. Every now and then, however, even a web font won't do, and it is necessary to use an image in place of a few words of text. For example, you may want to use a stylized logo for your company name or use familiar icons in place of text links. Removing the text altogether and replacing it with an image element is a bad idea because valuable content would be gone forever. The solution is to use a CSS based image replacement technique that uses the image as a background in the element and then shift the text out of the way so that it is not rendered on the page. Visual browsers see the background image while the text contained stays in the file and benefit of the search engine. Screen readers and other assistive devices. Okay, so everybody wins here. One elegant image replacement technique comes under Scott Callum. Okay, it uses the text indent property to push the text content all the way to the right and out of the visible element. So I'll just show you one example now here, one figure where you'll see what I'm trying to say. So this is what I was talking about. So this is the users see on the web page. Okay, and what is actually happening, it is like this, that this is the rightmost part of your web page, and from the rightmost part there is a h1 heading, text content, which is the same link. Okay, and it is there, so it is not being seen. Okay, so let's see it in our browser now. So the style rule that goes into this looks like this. Okay, so I'm just going to use it here in our web page. Okay, and I'm going to give my h1 ID. So let's save it. Okay, and I'm just going to change this image. Okay, so let's see what happens now. Okay, you can see that these are the links now. Or just let me just check it once again, what is happening. Okay, so earlier here was our heading, chapter 1. Now it has been replaced by the image. So now if I remove the logo ID from here, okay, where is this? Okay, so now let's see what happens now. You can see that it is now showing chapter 1 and the image is also there, but earlier it replaced the chapter 1. Okay, so there are a few things of note here. First, the h1 element displays as a block by default, so we can just specify its width and height to match the dimensions of the image used as a background. The text indent property pushes the word. So first of all, let's see the property here. Okay, the text indent property pushes the word over to the right by the full width of the element. The white space property is set to no wrap, which ensures that the long strings of text won't wrap around and show up again in the element box. Finally, overflow hidden instructs the browser that anything that falls outside of the element box should not be displayed. There are actually a dozen or so image replacement techniques that we have seen to be emerged over the years. One of the most popular is FARC technique, which uses an extremely large negative text indent value. Okay, typically you can say minus 9999 pixels to pull the element text all the way to the left of the viewport area. Okay, the downside of that approach is that browsers are forced to calculate and draw the wide element box even though it won't be rendered, which slows down performance. But if you come across an example of text with a background image and a minus 9999 pixel indent, you'll know what's going on. The downside of any image replacement approach is that it means an extra request to the server for every image used. In the next section, we'll look at a way to curb unnecessary requests. Okay. So now we'll move forward to the next topic, which is CSS sprites. When I talked about performance, I noted that you can improve site performance by reducing the number of requests your page makes to a server, which is also known as HTTP request. One strategy for reducing the number of image requests is to combine all of your little images into one big image file, so that only one image gets requested. The larger image that contains multiple images is known as a sprite, a term coined by the early computer graphic and video game industry. That image gets positioned in the element using the background position property in such a way that only the relevant position of it is visible. So an example would make this clear. O'Reilly Media's Velocity conference site featured 9 commonly found social media icons, which I'll show you in the figure now. In an effort to improve the site's performance, one of the strategies employed by the developer there was to turn those 9 icon graphics into one sprite and reduce the number of HTTP requests accordingly. They organized the icons into one stack with 2 pixels of space between icons. So I'll just show you the figure now. So this is the figure which I was talking about. The icons in this panel are contained on one sprite, which is social.png, and positioned in each link using background position. So replacing separate graphics file with one sprite image cuts down on the number of HTTP requests to the server and improves the site performance. I will just now show you the markup and styles, for the thing which we saw in the figure, but it is not the same markup and style which they used in their website. It is a simplification of that code which they used on their site. So I'll just show you the markup and styles now. Just a second. The markup goes like this, and I'll just tell you the styles also now. And the styles go like this. So you can go ahead and note them down. And what you can do that you can download these icon images from the web and make it or combine them in a sprite or say image, social.png or anything that you want, and you can go ahead and link them like this. So in the markup, each item has 2 class values. The hide class is used as the selector to apply the image replacement technique that I covered in the previous section. The other class name is particular to each social network link. The unique class values allow us to position the sprite appropriately for each link. At the top of the style sheet, you should recognize the image replacement styles. Notice in the next rule that all the anchor elements use social.png as their background image. Finally, we get to the styles that do the heavy lifting. The background position is set differently for each link in the list, and the visible element box works like a little window revealing a portion of the background image. The first item has a value 0, 0. This positions the top left corner of the image in the top left corner of the element box. To make the Facebook icon visible, we need to move the image up by 20 pixels. So its vertical position is set to -20 pixels. So its horizontal position of 0 is fine. The image is moved up by 20 pixel increments for each link, revealing image areas farther and farther down the sprite stack. In this example, all of the icons have the same dimension and stack up nicely, but that is not a requirement. You can combine images with a variety of dimensions on one sprite. The process of setting a size for the element and then lining the sprite up perfectly with the background position property is the same. So this is all from my side in this tutorial. In the next tutorial, I'll start with styling forms. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next tutorial.